Hey, it's your health and wellness coach Marisha here, checking in. Look at me looking at the wrong end of my telephone. Yes, the atmosphere has changed. It has been a minute, but I'm here. And today's video is going to be as short as what I'm going to be talking about. A period. Ooh, bars. No sound effects, just mine. Okay, it is your health and wellness coach, Marisha. What's good? How are you? I'm good. That's the question. Well, that's the answer to the question. What's good? I'm good. A lot of good old things happening, but we're going to stay focused. Like I said, this video is going to be short, like the period, or how it should be. Okay, so, oh man, I'm going to try to make it short. Let me say that. A lot of conversations I have with people, I have to stop assuming that people know these things. Like a lot of things that are basic to me that I know I've heard 1,000 times in different circles, in different places, and different conversations, different age groups, different parts of the world. And I'm just like, okay, I see it's on the internet, so I know a lot of people have had to see this for this to be out here like that, but it's really not like that. Like there's so many things that are popular, but there's so many people who don't know anything about it, right? And being that I want to talk about the period and how short it should be, the conversations that I've had with women in a small group, and I mean small like under 100. It could be more, but that I know of right now is under 100. That's still kind of a high number, but it is not good that they do not know that the cycle should be max 3-4 days, right? If you've been following me, you know that Yawn loves to make an appearance. So Yawn has said her official hello and welcome back to the channel as well. But yes, your period should be, I'm going to just get right to it. Your period should not be a full 7 whole days like Miss Toni Braxton be singing, okay? If you're old enough to know about who she is and her songs. Your period should be just enough time for ovulation, for the egg to pass, drop, you bleed, it's over. Man, oh man, Yawn, you gotta chill out. I'm not gonna get into the medical terminology of it because honestly, I don't even know how to explain it in that spectrum. I do know how to understand it. Just like, you know, I got a lot of people who know how to speak they know how to understand a foreign language, but they don't know how to speak it. So, while this is not foreign to me because I've lived this and breathed this for, what am I? Almost 20 years. 20 years now. And I've seen the difference. And I always promote change your diet. Before anybody tells me anything else, they're like, oh, I bleed 7-8 days, because they be so like giddy about me talking about 3 and 4 days. And they're like, 3-4 days? Oh my God, you lucky? I'm like, you could be lucky too. Change up your diet. I'm telling you, that's what it is. That's the magic. And see, the thing is, you don't even have to do the work, like to figure it out. You know, if you are the person that bleeds 7-8 days, you don't have to do the work to figure it out. To like, no, okay, well, if I change my diet, no, somebody could just tell you because they did the work already. I'm telling you, it is your lifestyle, what you are consuming, that is making you bleed a little longer. And I can even tell you that when I eat the vegan junk way. Excuse these yawns and half yawns. when I eat the vegan junk way, my cycle stretches to 4 or 5 days. And I know that's because of what I was eating. And just like when I was younger, I used to have, because we're not lactose intolerant. We are just not supposed to be drinking cow's milk. We're not supposed to be drinking anybody else's milk but our mother's breast milk. But that's a whole nother video. But I digress on that point for a second. When I was younger and I would consume dairy, let's say January. Yawn is embarrassing me. I'm going to have a good talk with her after this because I'm not even tired. Are we a little dehydrated? Okay, we'll talk about it later. Let's say January I consume dairy, but I got my cycle. Retract that. I consumed dairy in January. I know for a fact that my cycle in February is going to be treacherous because I'll be cramping, I'll be throwing up, and voluntarily fasting too, because the dairy was, I already had cramps, but the dairy was digging it was in the hole and then twisting the knife in it. And it was just like, Now, come February, I don't consume any dairy, no type of cheese, no anything, none of that. No milk, none of that. March, I am skipping in the land of daisies and going outside. Maybe a little back pain. But it's like super, I can tolerate it. Like it's super tolerable. Is that a word? Yep. And if it's not, okay. But the difference was like night and day. And then my mom and me were like, mom and me, potato. Don't come for me English majors, although I really like writing and stuff. But my mom and I will be like, wow, it is what you're consuming that's doing this. You're going to have to give this up. And I went through hot water with having to give up dairy because I was also on the spectrum of the beginning of, I want to say this, I want to say the beginning of, not the beginning of veganism, because obviously that's been happening, but the new tidal wave of it, like back in, let me see, early 2000s. So I was still teeter-tottering with it. And I would go through the cramps and throwing up, and I was just like, all right, because nothing was helping stop these cramps. I could consume anything, and my body was just like, nope, throw it up. I went to the GYN to get pills at like 13, 14 years old. That didn't help. I couldn't even swallow the pill. I was throwing up. Tried to drink herbal teas, couldn't keep it down, throwing it up. I just had to literally wing it. I felt like I was literally having children without having the children. Like I would go through the pains, go through the hot and cold flashes, needing silence. I'll be in a room. I could sit in a chair just like this, you can see. And if I find comfort in it, I'm going to sleep right there because I'm so tired. Like I would sit up, I would stand up. I was going through it. So, to bring that back around to the conversation, I said that to say, you have to change your diet to see a difference. Change what you're consuming to see a difference. That was a huge difference for me. And then as I continued to taper off of other foods like meats, fried foods, junk food, my period kept lightening up, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? Because no, and ain't no children coming around, so yeah. So I have these conversations with these people, and it's just so disheartening that the world would just keep leading people on to thinking that they need birth control. They do everything else except change what they're eating. And I'm like, oh, birth control. You want to have more children? You messing with your hormones when you putting that birth control inside you. And this is all based off of stuff that was already put out on the internet. I am definitely not no scientist. I took some nutrition classes, and based off of myself and study myself, I know what I know. And I know from other conversations and doing my own research, which I recommend that you do. But where was I going with that? Yeah, this is all information that's out there that you can look up yourself and find some verified websites that show you what these harmful side effects are. The commercials that whisper the bad stuff and have the music playing and people doing all these good things in the front of you so that you can be distracted from hearing. Yeah, they know people don't like reading either, so they put the stuff in fine small print. Get you a magnifying glass. Go to your doctor and tell them to tell you what the fuck is going on for real. Like, why are you so eager to put me on this? Because you're going to get paid more for this? Exactly, yes they are. But let me just get to the period point, and that is, you do not have to suffer of hemorrhaging for 7 to 8 days. Try changing up what you're eating for at least 90 days so you can have 3 months of comparison so that you can see, all right, this month, I'm eating crazy, and then I'm going to look at my period. Then the next 2 months, I'm going to clean that shit all the way up, and I'm going to eat baked this, raw this, whatever, and then I'm going to look at my cycle, and then you're going to see the difference. And you'll feel the difference. Not only see it, but you'll feel the difference. You're going to see it in your body. You're going to see it in, your excreting of the blood. You're going to see it in how many pads you use or you don't use. And oh my God, don't even talk about the pads. That's another thing too. Some of those products in those pads are helping you to bleed, make you bleed longer. So you have to be mindful of what you're putting down on your vagina lips. Down it is all for damn near, 4 to 6 hours is a long time. But you should only be bleeding 3-4 days max. And you shouldn't even be losing that much blood either. Because you're not giving birth. You're not. Oh, man. If you're losing that much blood, which is a whole other conversation about iron, and that's another reason why a lot of women have issues with their iron, there is a lot of work that you need to do, and you need to sit down. You need to sit down. The first order of business, if you don't get anything else from this video and don't want to be overwhelmed and, you want to move forward in progress in your life, because let me tell you, I told you already, I teeter-tottering with sometimes the junk. I already know what's coming for me when the cycle comes. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bleed straight 5 days. I'm, 4 days, but spot on 5 because of what I'm consuming. But if you don't understand anything in this video, please do this. Change up your cycle and log it for at least 3 to 4 months. And watch how your cycle changes. And you're going to be like, wow. And then you're going to be doing a video like this. And then you're going to be the one around your family telling people, your coworkers and them, and saying X, Y, and Z. And you're going to be the one that people are going to start coming to. Because let me tell you, the people who are around me who do complain about their cycle, I watch what they consume. They're not ready for the change. They are sometimes aware of things. And sparingly, if I'm around, they will push themselves. But you got to be able to push yourself when nobody's around. That is a challenge for me in this level and stage right now in my life. But that's it. Period. Until next time, I do not like that. Until next time, that is not my era. Okay. Until next time, I will talk to you soon. Peace.